it cannot contradict the known reality. It cannot say the earth is flat, for example.
The problem is, Mansur, the problem is, okay, I understand. How do we establish it's from God? The contents of the book will tell you that it's from God.
We establish it, not just tell us. You have to test it.
You have to read, you have to analyze, you have to critical thinking, all these kind of things. Okay, fine. Yeah. What I'm saying to you is that I'm putting the Quran with the Mormon book.
Bring the Mormon book.
Because the Mormon book
here is
also
the Mormon
has
book.
Content.
Okay, no problem. Sure, no problem. Imagine now, this is the Mormon book. We've got 3.
It was given by Gabriel, the same as Muhammad. So
now let's test them.
Yours and not
sure, we test the book. The Book of Mormon. Does it have a prophecy that came true, all of them?
Does the Quran have a prophecy that came true?
Sorry. We are testing every book that is now on the table. You brought the Book of Mormon. I have the Quran and the Bible, right? So bring the Book of Mormon.
I'm doing this question because
I am saying yes.
Not Mormon.
Everything that the Quran describes to happen in the future, it happened exactly. Anything that the Quran described in the past, it was accurately described.
Like what? I don't know.
Go and pray for it. Later, inshallah. No problem. Jazakallah khairan.
Like what?
Now,
like what?
When the Quran describes about the nations of the past, for example, say Egyptian nation, Egypt and their gods, it describes about them that they believe themselves to be gods, and not even that, the Most High. This information wasn't known until the hieroglyphics was rediscovered. That some of the pharaohs considered them to be God, the Most High.
Who considered them to be God? Who's them?
Some of the pharaohs
consider themselves to be God.
Muhammad was a non-Jew prophet.
Muhammad didn't
says no non-Jew.
So when the Quran describes this event of the past and gets it right, you should.
Muhammad heard from here, from there. There are many
things. The Egyptians writing here.
Brother,
it was only deciphered in the past few
Muhammad heard many things and took it from here and from there. He copy-pasted the Bible. There are so many things similar to the.
I can see your reasoning. So let's address that point. Now, I'll address it in 2 points. One about the Bible and one about the Quran. The hieroglyphics, which describes the pharaohs, consider them to be God, was not being read by people because people forgot how to read them. So there is no one prior to being discovered in what it means. Okay, can you name me? Are you going to let me finish that?
No, because you're saying something that I'm sorry, right now it's not making sense. It's the first thing that you're saying. It's not making sense. Because
look, I cannot apologize for your not reading enough.
No, it's not the reading.
I'm saying, allow me to finish my point.
What you're saying is, nobody could have known that the Egyptians called themselves God.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute.
Who knew?
Wait a minute.
Who knew?
Wait a minute. Okay. The Egyptians have many celebrations that celebrate stuff that were invented or came about like 1,000 years ago, and they still remember. And so does the Jews. They start mouth by mouth. Are you telling me? Do you need to read to know what happened in the past? Well, our generation can be passed on. Come on.
Let me ask you this question once more.
Why don't you tell me? Grab some balls.
Who? Excuse me, brothers. Ignore him.
Should we move up?
No. We're not going to move up. He's going to preach his own preaching.
You tell me yourself.
My friend, preach whatever you have to preach, right? No one's going to read the Bible. Doesn't matter. Read the Bible. Right. Thank you. Now, my dear lady, brother.
I understand how you saw it, but calm it down. Calm it down. Let's all calm it down.
Who do you know that knew that the pharaohs considered themselves to be gods? Who do you know? Who have you read? Have you read the books?
I did read books, but movies. Like 2 movies.
Do you know that only after the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, Champollion,
Deciphered it, yeah.
who deciphered the hieroglyphics. We came to know these things. Prior to that, we were not privy to the information. Listen. You're making
What
this.
happened to the things that they celebrate that were invented thousands of years ago? Okay, 400,000 of years ago, and so even the Jews, they have celebrations that were thousands of years ago, and they determined to celebrate and pass on to their generation mouth through mouth, and even God commanded them to pass on to generation.
Who from mouth to mouth pass that information?
Excuse me.
No problem. Which people, prior to the advent of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which people mentioned this information from mouth to mouth?
About the Egyptians.
Yeah. You just made a claim.
No, I'm saying it is not. It doesn't make sense that you say that people can't keep something that happened in the past without written in the book. Of course they can. Of course they can.
You didn't understand my argument. I am saying the Qur'an resurrects historical events which people totally forgot during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even before. Okay, so now you've realized my point. I've addressed that. My second point. You seem to think the Quran copies the information from the Bible, right?
From the Torah and the Bible. Yeah.
Sure. Have you heard of the Gilgamesh epic? The Atrahasis epic? The Enuma Elish epic? They predate the Bible by thousands of years. And guess what? They talk about the flood, the rescue, the person, the people, the boat, Utnapishtim. All of these information.
No, you see your brother. Sorry, thank you so much. I am not going to do that.
Hang on. He's not recording.
Dishonest person. You people dishonest. He told you many times not to film me, and I asked you not to film me. Okay? You're filming. Don't lie. You're filming me. I saw it. I was telling that you're filming me. You have to respect. I said, I know this is Speaker's Corner. All right. I said because you're allowed to film whatever. Okay. But I said to Mansur, if you're filming, I am going to leave it. I am going to leave it.
Do you want to delete
but
it?
You said he wasn't.
It's okay if he deletes it.
No.
Yeah, and we continue, right?
I said if he was filming, I wasn't going to.
He apologized. He said sorry. So let him delete it. Now, the point I was making about the Gilgamesh epic and others is this. These predates the Bible for thousands of years. Some of them 1,500 years, 1,600 years, and so on, right? Very, very earlier than the Bible. They talk about flood stories, creation stories, and the way they talk about the order. We know from comparing the stories of those tablets and the Torah, there are at least 17 instances of similarities in chronological order. One can easily say, using your show. Take it, please. Hello? Okay, thank you.
Is she on a phone call, Brother Mansur? What's going on?
No, she's got a call.
I know.
That's right, no problem. So as I was saying, there are at least 17 instances of similarities in chronological order. One can easily say, with enough supporting evidence, if they want to, like they have done by the scholars of ancient Near Eastern texts, that the Bible copied and plagiarized from those tablets. They said that, and it's there in academic studies and academic journals and books, that the Bible is guilty of plagiarism, literal plagiarism, because there are 17 instances in chronological order. So the Bible is academically proven to have been plagiarized from this ancient Near Eastern text from Akkadiya, Babylonia, Mesopotamia, and Ugarit.
Which part?
The creation stories and flood. So if you use this argument, you have to now say the Bible was indeed copied from them.
No, but wait a minute. The Bible admits that we use the Torah, okay? Right? If I use your material and I ask permission to use your material, that's not plagiarism, okay? Because I asked your permission, you gave me permission. But the Bible, the same way, the First Testament, we know the First Testament belongs to Israel, and it belongs to Torah, okay? And it belongs to, what's the other one? What's the other book of the Jews? You know,
so they have Tanakh, Torah, Nabiim, Ketubim. The Torah, the prophets, and the books. Torah, Nabiim, prophets, Ketubim, books.
No,
that's the Tanakh.
No, there's the Torah, and there's the other book, I forgot.
Which one? Psalms?
Not the
Mishnah, Talmud, Tarbut.
The Jews book. Where the property of Prophet Isaiah is, and Prophet Jeremiah, and all these books, yeah? Okay. So we understand that we took those books from them, which is the First Testament. If you told me or showed to me evidences that there were plagiarism with the Second Testament, then that would be something else. Because the First Testament, we know it came from the Jews. But what I'm saying here is that still, it seems as if you're not going to get anywhere, because all I wanted is to know, why should I believe in Muhammad?
I was about to establish that with criteria. Okay. So the point about plagiarism, I think we misunderstood my dear lady. I was saying the Torah, the Old Testament, according to the scholars of ancient Near Eastern text, is plagiarized from the Enuma Elish, Gilgamesh epic, and Atrahasis epic, which predates the Torah by thousands of years. Using your own logic or own reasoning, you have to admit and say, yes, according to my reasoning, the Torah is borrowed from those tablets, cuneiform tablets. No, you can read about it later.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not saying don't accept it,
yeah.
But if you use the reasoning consistently, you have to reject the Torah because it's been borrowed from the ancient Near Eastern text. But the other answer is actually more plausible. In reality, when God interacted with the people and there was a flood, this is history. People narrated history as much as they could write in their writing, in their oral traditions. People wrote it in tablets with exaggerations and embellishment and so on, and that's surviving. Likewise, these stories have been transmitted in many other cultures and many other places. The Qur'an says this revelation is coming from the same God that gave the Torah, that gave the Injil. It's the same source. It narrates to us history, what happened, because the Quran cannot just simply ignore the mighty prophets and messengers that Allah sent, because they are our prophets. We learn from them. Allah gives them their examples. There are many examples of those prophets Allah provided for our own understanding of the reality, what happened before. What did the prophets bring? How they were successful, the people, by believing in the prophets, and how they were in ruin because they disbelieved in the prophets, how they were destroyed.
There were many witnesses.
Yeah. So the Quran.
There are many witnesses.
Okay. So now let's come back to the Quran.
This one, the problem is one.
Excuse me. The Quran is not one person. The Quran is a revelation from Allah that has now been able. That is now at our disposal for testing. If we apply those tests, can you find an error in the Quran? A contradiction, a discrepancy? This is even the challenge of the Quran is. Because if a book which claims to be from God, now hear this carefully. If a book is from God or claims to be from God, you would expect it to be free from errors, contradiction and discrepancies.
I am still reading the Quran.
Do you agree?
I'm still reading.
Do you agree?
I agree, but I'm still reading the Quran. But I believe there's many errors.
Look.
Which is he just mentioned, the one that says that the sun would set in the mud of puddle. Muddy puddle. Yes.
But obviously, you haven't been reading with deep reflection and deep reading. The Quran. Let me answer the question very clearly. When the Dhul Qarnayn went in his travels, and when he reached the place of sunset, It appeared to him, he saw, wajada, he, Dhul-Qarnayn, the one with two horns, the narration about that person, right? He saw the sun setting. When you go to a beach, do you see the sun setting in the ocean?
If I go to Rio, yeah.
So when Allah describes you, for example, that you went to the beach, and you, listen please, and then Allah said, and you saw the sun setting in the beach, is that an error? Would that be an error?
Sorry, I got distracted.
Okay.